She handed him a suicide note. I found this, she left it for us. He looked at the paper and began reading the words that he had just written out loud. Yesterday, I was arrested and I decided to cooperate with the FBI. I made statements against us that would help them build their case and send you all to prison. I realized how much I really love you all. And instead of taking the stand, I've decided to take my own life. I'm sorry, your sister, Kenya. The Devil's Stone by Anthony Jenkins and Alexxis Jaye.
Welcome to P English Literature, a YouTube channel that conveys Amazon, Goodreads, blog, and video book reviews coupled with interviews with authors. It's a perfect channel for book lovers, authors, and writers generally. P English Literature, the exact channel for you and me.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and to the review of The Devil's Stone by Anthony Jenkins and Alexxis Jaye. This seems to be the second crime thriller novel that I've read and reviewed so far on this channel, and I feel so excited about it because I love the book. I authentically love the book. I love the setting of the novel. I love the characterization. I love the plot twists. I love the fact that every chapter reads like a movie, and one of the things I admire about the book is the fact that it reads like a crime film. It's as if I was watching a movie. I love the way the writer style is very intriguing, and as a starter of crime fiction novel, I seems to develop a sort of likeness towards it, and it's like I'm developing likeness for books under this genre. I'm not too much familiar with crime fiction novel, with crime thrillers, but while I read Jenkins and Jaye's book, I was like, wow, I'm gonna keep checking more of books under this genre. And the book is actually very intriguing. It's a short read of 210 pages and it is very wholesome. But before I talk about the book, I'd love to read to you the synopsis. So, the synopsis. A crew of bank robbers embark on what was to be their last heist that would set them up for life. Steal the diamonds and sell them for millions or so, they thought. As soon as they come in contact with the cursed diamond known as the Devil's Stone, they are led down a road of murder and betrayal. Not to mention, they have some of the best FBI agents hot on their tail, along with the African rebels in pursuit to get the diamond that their ancestors once possessed. This book is a roller coaster of suspense that will keep you turning the page to see what happens next. And I'm gonna read again the kind of a short inscription about the authors because the book is actually co-authored by Alexxis Jaye and Anthony Jenkins. So Anthony Jenkins and Alexxis Jaye are the perfect peers to deliver a nail-biting thriller filled with action that would have you on the edge of your seat and twist that will take your breath away. You will be introduced to characters that will leave you hungry for more from their upcoming books, and that's so truth about this book. It's actually reality, and I feel that these authors are, up to something great in the literary scene, most especially in the genre of crime thrillers. The first thing I love about the book is the characterization. It's the way the characters behave. I love characters like Savoni. I love characters like Ray. Ray is someone, in my own perception, I consider someone who is lascivious. He's very greedy. At every spot of an event, he wants something out of himself. So this book actually detailed the life story of some gang of bank robbers that first invade, a bank, and they would steal most of the stuff in the bank, the money, and get along. And they are very, very bad to the extent that they are very cruel when it comes to the preservation of people's life. They kill anyhow. And they actually take this money. They've been working together for a very long time. At this particular point, they come in contact with the devil's stone. That's diamond. They call it the devil's stone. And I love that idea in the novel. So this stone was actually worth 50 million US dollars. Though there's some other part where the author wrote in the book, which I'm not so much clear about, if they see a buyer that's gonna buy the diamond for 500 million US dollars. So but all of them, there are many. We have Ray, we have Kelly, we have Kenya, we have Savoni, we have their boss Zebo, we have a lot of the characters. One of the things I actually love about the book is that it's made up of multiple characters. At some point, I feel a little bit confused, but as the book keep on unfolding, as the story keep on unfolding, I was able to grab and recognize and come in contact and understand most of the traits that define the personality of these characters. It's made up of multiple characters, but I love the fact that the characters at each point keep moving, and some other point the characters were cute, making me think as if it has some sort of a flat character. And there's some characters also that are not well developed. There's some characters that die abruptly along the line of the story. So all this literary feature, makes the book to sound like a nice crime thriller novel. Okay, this gang of robbers actually, come with they first start their journey with arrangement. They love themselves. They are very cooperative. They unite themselves together to sell this diamond so that they can live the best life they want, because that anyone who walk away with 50 million US dollars or 500 million US dollars should consider himself rich for the rest of his life. So they consider themselves lucky that they're going to get this diamond and sell to the right person, and so that they can get a hell of a reward in back. But their agreement began to turn into hatred along the side. It began to turn into set up, betrayal, and the scenarios of the event that happened or that occurred in the novel, when their plan began to decline, when their trucks begin to turn into distrust, and when their agreement began to turn into disagreement, and their love is being traded for betrayal, and they begin to kill one another. The scenario of this event, I don't want to spoil the novel, but the scenario of this event, I'm not going to describe more of this, but I just want to say that the scenario of this event is very, very captivating. It is action driven. It held me captive until I finished indulging my relatable emotions in it. It's actually a cold authored book. So at some point when I was into it, I was like, wow, this book is very interesting. I love the author's choice of word. I love their storytelling techniques, and it made me, fall in love with crime thriller. Honestly, I think I'll have to start exploring books under this genre, because The Devil's Stone really made me fall in love with crime thrillers, and I was like, wow, it's very intriguing. So the characterization and the plot twists and storytelling techniques made the book to read like a war movie. I love the instance of description of features like Kare, when the FBI were pursuing Kenya, when Antonio was having a kind of a conversation to convince Kenya so that she can confess a crew, and the kind of robbery, the kind of theft they've involved themselves so far. I love the instance that the author were able to describe the gun shooting instance, the scenario whereby they met in a part of a sea, somewhere like a sea, a river, and the storytelling technique was just quite amazing, and I was like, wow, this book actually is gonna make a good movie. I don't know if anyone is watching this video and you're looking for a kind of a book that would make a movie, like you're looking for a book that would be a movie, I solely recommend The Devil's Stone, because it's gonna make a real good movie. It's actually gonna make a good movie. I don't know how to describe this kind of a characteristics more particular to The Devil's Stone. It's the fact that it authentically reads like a movie. And this is the second book that I've ever read so far that reads like a movie. The first one is a vampire novel, Just After the Man of the Mage by Gregory D. Ramsell. That's like a vampire book that reads like a vampire movie. But this is a crime thriller that reads like like a crime film. I so much love it. Continuing from the point whereby they were to trade the diamonds, the devil stone for some dollars. At some point whenever they get a buyer, they would manipulate themselves. They would invite themselves with the hope that, okay, bring the diamond and I'm gonna give you the money. So at any point of them doing the exchange, collecting the diamond, is either one of them want to kill the other so that he can retain the money from him or her and also get the diamond himself, or one of them want to get the diamond and also want to get the money to themselves. So that's why I term it in my review of Amazon that it's a kind of book that is full of deceptiveness, it is full of betrayal, it is adventurous, and it's a sort of book that treats like a movie. At each point, they started waging war against one another. They started killing one another, shooting mercilessly, getting some people down, with the fact that they are actually friends, they are a crew of people, they work together. But when money comes into people, some trust can be lost, and some people, human psychology can actually behave anyhow. So they begin to fight one another and they begin to find themselves into situations, etc., etc. So from here, one of them was actually killed in the beginning chapters of the book, which was very painful to another person. I seems to have a kind of a misconception when it comes to how I can recognize the characters. And yes, that's Tony. When Tony was killed, Kel was somewhat bad and angry because he was actually killed by Savoni. And this is the first time they were going to go for the exchange. I'm sorry, I don't want to spoil this book, so I won't be giving too much of information. I just want to give you a spoiler-free review so you can, in case you would love to get a copy of the book in Amazon. I left a link in the description part of the video. So the first action, killed Tony, and the transaction did not go successfully. So they had to resort into find another buyer. So from here, Ray picked up from where Tony stopped. And again, there's no buyer because they're actually performing an illegal business when it comes to diamond transaction. That's why Savoni is the only buyer of this diamond, and they find it hard to get another buyer. It's either the risk, the adventurous act of selling to Savoni, or the diamond that is worth $50 million US remain valueless and meaningless in their hands. So another option came up, and another seller is Savoni. At this point, Carol warned Ray not to perform any kind of transaction with Savoni again. But Ray is very adamant, is obstinate, is always in the look of making some kind of an adventurous act. And it was like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna risk it. We're talking about $50 million. He's very, very determined. He's a kind of a stubborn person, and I hate his characterization. So again, he was going to risk it the second time. I think something happened. They play a game again, like the first time, and the business did not go successfully. And at each point whereby they are meeting together to do the exchange, something would always come up. It's either there's a kind of a setup from either Savoni's side or from Ray's side. There's a kind of a backup, and the backup is very intriguing. It makes the book to read like a movie. Then the other aspect, the third time, was Savoni using Billy as a cover up. Billy is actually someone who is a little bit trustworthy when it comes to performing business, this sort of business in the perception of Ray. And Savoni figured out that, okay, I think I can use Billy. So he went ahead and kidnapped Billy. He kidnapped his son, and he was like, okay, the only thing I'm gonna do for you to be released is that you're gonna pick your call now and call Ray that he should bring the diamond to so location, and that you have a buyer to buy it. And Billy had to do this because he was being forced, he was being invaded. His son was kidnapped. And I even read a place whereby his son's finger was cut off by the wicked Zebo. So he was very, very tensed, and he had to do it, even though he has to do it in the expense of the trucks that Ray had for him. Even though when Ray was going to go to the particular location, he has already been warned by his other crew of friends that somewhat trustworthy not to go alone or trust anybody, because you don't even know who the buyer is. So Ray get there, and the story turned to something different, and he was able to discover that, oh, Bill was actually being instigated by Savoni, and he was under pressure to call him. So once he get there, they captured him, and he was able to see with his own physical eyes that Billy was actually in a tormentor's position. his child was captivated, and himself is not in good position. He was being tensed. If you're not gonna do this, I'm gonna kill you. And that's one of the things that added more charm to the book, added more characterization, and make it very sad, very intriguing. So the novel kept unfolding, and it was unfolding in a dynamic manner. I don't want to spoil the book. I don't want to talk too much about it. I just want to leave in the veg to wanted to know if Ray really survived it or not. If the setup of him meeting Billy and Savoni showing up, concurrently, and the whole situation whereby Zebo is also coming in picture, if he was able to survive it or not. And I would also wanted to check out the outcome of these bank robbers on the FBI agent, and quite a lot of amazing, enthralling, fascinating thing imbibed in the single book titled The Devil's Stone. It is very amazing. I cannot describe it enough. I just feel that description or most of my reviews might not try to communicate in depth the sort of information, the sort of amazing trait and characterization that I found intriguing about this book. So this is where I'm gonna stop the review of this book. If you watch this video to this point and you're yet to click on the subscribe button, I wanna urge you to please click on the subscribe button over there. Also consider liking this video, turn on the notification bell so you can get notified anytime I release new videos. Thank you very much for watching my video book review of The Devil's Stone. See you in my next video. Goodbye.